CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with a tentative agreement between AirTransat and the airline's pilots who were poised for strike action. A sigh of relief for passengers who watched many flights get grounded in anticipation of that possibility. Heather Wright has more on tonight's developments.
A day of travel turbulence and then an 11th hour deal.
It's crazy. It's not a stress.
After nearly 12 months of talks and several intense days of negotiations, AirTransat and the union announced tonight they had reached an agreement, which delivers a modern contract that recognizes the professional contributions of AirTransat pilots, the union said in a statement. AirTransat pilots had never walked off the job in the airline's history, but they threatened to do so during the start of the busy holiday travel season, leading to more than a dozen canceled flights as the airline worked to bring passengers and planes back to Canada. The pilots are represented by the Airline Pilots Association, the same union that negotiated last fall's deal for Air Canada pilots, who got a 42% pay bump. Members say ALPA used that same playbook here.
They're trying to replicate roughly the same deal as they can that Air Canada pilots achieved again last year, going up to the last minute, but they averted a strike in that case.
The deal still needs to be ratified, and while exact terms are not clear, AirTransat said earlier today it had offered the union an improvement on its earlier offer of a 59% pay hike over 5 years.
As an example, for a senior captain, top scale, year 5, we're looking at over $100,000 pay increase on a yearly basis. So this is a significant, very generous offer that we've made.
This is the second major disruption to Canadian air travel in less than 6 months and marks a shift toward more equitable pay across the airline sector. Just as AirTransat pilots are looking for compensation similar to what other airlines pay, it is expected that flight attendants will want a deal like the one their counterparts at Air Canada got when they went on strike back in August.
Heather Wright, CTV News.
Provincial police have concluded their investigation into the fatal crash that killed 5 people from Walkerton back in May.
Following a comprehensive review of all evidence and circumstances, it's been determined that no charges will be laid in relation to this incident.
The crash happened east of Thorndale involving 2 SUVs and a transport truck. 4 teenage students were killed along with their teacher, all from Walkerton District Community School. Police said 3 other people involved ended up with minor injuries. An unexpected debate tonight at London City Hall, sparked by the mayor's request to the provincial government to declare the homeless crisis a state of emergency.
We are doing our part, and we need the province to come to the table with those additional resources in the areas of responsibility that are theirs.
We risk offending the very people that we want to help us, which is the province. And I think we should take their advice. I think we should move in the direction that they want us to move.
On Friday, Mayor Josh Morgan and Ontario's other big city mayors asked the province to declare a state of emergency regarding homelessness. Municipal governments covered more than half the $4.1 billion spent on homelessness projects last year. The motion carried 10-2. Councillors Susan Stevenson and Jerry Pribble opposed.
The Ontario Big City Mayors Group is a group of the 29 largest municipalities, and the composition of that group is quite diverse. We have people who have served as provincial leaders of 3 different parties who serve as mayors in our group, and everyone was unanimous in this approach.
The executive director of the Unity Project is expressing concerns for Londoners experiencing homelessness who will be relocated to a community of 60 micro-shelters next month. Daryl Newcomb has more on that.
Construction of London's micro-shelter community on Cheese Factory Road is now underway. But at City Hall, the executive director of Unity Project expressed concern about the selection of a private company, Expera, to operate the 60-unit facility for homeless Londoners.
The reliance on resource-strapped charities to buffer a for-profit company reflects real practical risks for the people who will live there.
Moving people to a cornfield beside the 401 removes them from services and sends a clear message that you are not
not welcome in our community. There is understandable fear that we are drifting away from the values of dignity, inclusion, and compassion.
It's aiming to open in January, but Councillor Sam Trosso put forward a motion seeking a report with more details about transportation, services from nonprofits, and emergency services.
I'm not trying to undermine the staff, but I do think that there are gaps in the information that this council has been provided.
City staff said the design and procurement process has included consultation, as well as visiting micro-shelter communities in other cities. Nonprofit frontline service providers will be asked to attend a meeting on December 18th to work with city staff on what services can be provided at the site, but noted it will depend on the specific needs of the individuals chosen to live there.
We are not coming here without all the information. We're trying to come to you with as much information as we have currently.
Feedback from community partners has already been embedded into the project at this point and has been reflected in the site plan alterations and the service alterations.
While staff said they would re-examine the possibility of building a bus stop closer to the site, it was revealed that Expera has agreed to provide transportation for residents, although the details are still being worked out.
Frustrated but reluctantly resigned. I think that's probably exactly what I feel. We need the space.
This is somewhere that we can make work. This is somewhere that the public can support, and that we can actually take the opportunity to bring an additional 60 spaces online in a very short period of time.
Trosso's motion was defeated, but council will receive memos updating them about progress in the coming weeks. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
London's police chief delivered his annual update to a council committee this afternoon, coming off a weekend that saw half a dozen shootings, which officers say are connected.
6 shootings occurred between rival street gangs, bringing the year-to-date total to 28.
Police forensic unit markers show where bullets hit a home in East London. The owners declined to speak on camera, but did tell CTV News the home was actually targeted 3 times over 2 days. No injuries have been reported from any of the gunfire. The police chief says the city is trending lower when it comes to serious crimes this year, despite the recent shooting spree. He says when it comes to the crime severity index, London has been below the national average in recent years.
Our people are doing some incredible work. We have great officers and units targeting organized crime, but still we've been under-resourced for a very long time.
Police in Sarnia say they've charged a 56-year-old man with attempted murder, accused of trying to kill a woman in a case of intimate partner violence. Officers say they were called to a residence in southeast Sarnia last night. They say a woman could be heard screaming on a 911 call, but they could not pinpoint an exact address. Police say they went door to door, eventually encountering a woman with a slash to her neck, injuries on her face, and blood-stained clothing. Police say a man was then arrested, and the woman is now in hospital in stable condition. The London Abused Women's Centre is unveiling a new strategic plan, which officials say should meet rising demand for their services. As Lawrence DeLone reports, it's also meant to push for long-term cultural change.
The London Abused Women's Centre is implementing a new strategic plan aimed at improving the centre's ability to respond to urgent survivor needs.
Our theme for the strategic plan is about shifting power, and so we want to make it of the utmost importance to listen to women with lived experience.
The plan outlines key pillars that will guide the centre's work over the next several years.
One is really focused on meeting women where they're at and providing that survivor-centered support. We also need to make sure that our staff are equipped to be able to provide the support that's necessary.
Jennifer Dunn, Executive Director at LAWC, says the plan comes at a time when demand for services continues to grow and feminist-centered advocacy is critically needed.
We have seen numerous femicides here in the City of London alone. Between 2023 and 2024, there were 4 femicides in London, Ontario. And so we need to pay attention to that.
Dunn says the recent Hockey Canada case shed light on the importance of driving long-term systemic and cultural change in our community.
Just because they were found not guilty doesn't mean that nothing happened, and we need to pay attention to that and really be talking to, men and young boys about what that means.
Dunn says she is thankful for the government's support in making the plan possible.
We ended up being successful with a grant that we applied for through WAGE, which is a federal ministry for capacity building.
Lauren Stallone, CTV News.
Meanwhile, the federal government is tabling new legislation proposing criminal code changes, reforming the way the justice system deals with both gender-based and intimate partner violence. Abigail Beeman reports.
That happened on Mother's Day 2003.
A survivor of attempted intimate partner femicide, Nneka McGregor feels lucky she didn't end up a statistic. In 2024, 187 women in Canada were killed violently.
I've spent the last 2+ decades advocating for a lot of the changes that have been proposed today.
McGregor says the Liberals' new legislation goes a long way to end gender-based violence, especially the move to make femicide classified as first-degree murder and a new criminal offense for certain types of coercive and controlling behaviors to help stop abuse before it's too late.
We have an opportunity to better protect kids who are at risk of exploitation and to address very real concerns about violence against women, including violence that could be fatal.
If passed, C-16 will restore a dozen mandatory minimum penalties previously found unconstitutional, but also give courts some discretion to order shorter sentences to address the problem of potential charter infringement. The bill also makes it illegal to distribute deepfakes without someone's consent.
Unless you do XYZ, then I'm going to share that with your family. I am going to post it to all of your friends. And, children are rightfully terrified.
This cybersecurity expert says the bill closes a critical loophole and legislation is long overdue.
The delay in introducing this law has had a profound effect on kids.
There is some overlap from the beleaguered Trudeau-era online harms bill, namely the requirement for internet service providers to notify police about any child porn. But the Justice Minister says this isn't a copy and paste. He hopes to have the support of all parties to pass this bill. It's not yet clear if he will. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
A shelter-in-place order was issued in Strathroy today. Police were spotted on Scott Street West near Princess Street early this afternoon, and for nearly 2 hours they told nearby residents to stay inside with their doors and windows locked. Around 3 p.m., witnesses reported one person at the front of a home with his hands over his head. Police have since confirmed an arrest, lifting the shelter-in-place order with no injuries reported. Officials with the Perth Huron United Way say they've purchased a 54-unit seniors residence in Listowel. As Scott Miller reports, it's the latest project in their efforts to add local affordable housing options.
United Housing officials are getting their first look at the results of months of restoration and stabilization work at their new affordable apartment complex under construction in downtown Listowel.
There's a lot of progress. I mean, a lot of deconstruction, but you can't really do the construction without the deconstruction.
Launched 2 years ago, United Housing is a branch of the United Way of Perth Huron, specifically focused on building and or acquiring affordable housing in the two counties. Their first project, a roughly $2.5 million plan to create 10 affordable and attainable apartments in downtown Listowel, along with a community access center on the main floor. In the meantime, United Housing has jumped into the affordable housing market with both feet, agreeing to take over ownership and management of Perth Meadows in Listowel, a not-for-profit housing project with 54 units.
Not only are we not building enough affordable and attainable housing, every year we lose thousands of units to the private market where prices then get jacked up.
Transferred for $1, the Perth Meadows acquisition means United Housing can focus their fundraising efforts on the downtown apartments. Community bonds are one way United Housing is raising that cash. For a return of as much as 3.5%, anyone can invest in United Housing's affordable housing projects.
Money at a good rate is really important to be able to sort of cash flow a project. So it's sort of like you can do good in your community, you can make a little bit of money, and it works for everyone.
More than 84% of their $735,000 community bonds goal has already been raised. United Housing's plan is to own and operate 100 affordable housing units by 2030. In Listowel, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Kids, the school project building a toy mountain this holiday season. Strength in financial stocks helped Canada's main stock index rise today. The TSX gained 74 points. In New York, the Dow fell 179. The Nasdaq added 31. The Canadian dollar down a modest 0.04 of a cent today. On commodity markets, gold gained more than $18 an ounce. Oil lost 63 cents a barrel. Heated exchanges at Queen's Park today after the OPP launched an investigation connected to the controversial Skills Development Fund. As Siobhan Morris reports, opposition leaders grilled the government on what was known and when.
The day after the OPP anti-rackets branch launched an investigation of a company that's received tens of millions of dollars in taxpayer money.
What is wrong with you?
What kind of shop are you running, Premier?
I will start warning people.
Tempers flared in question period. The government maneuvering around some specifics.
We will not be commenting any further because it's before the OPP at this time.
The investigation centers around Keel Digital Solutions. They'd been getting funding from the Ministry of Colleges and Universities for years for student mental health supports. In 2023, the government says a routine audit flagged irregularities. That prompted a forensic audit.
A system that identifies the need for an audit is a system that works, a system that then within 24 hours of receiving that makes the appropriate referrals is a system that works.
In the middle of all that auditing, Keel got millions in skills development cash, something the Premier defends.
We cut off the funding as soon as you get the results. You don't cut it off until you get the results. You don't presume someone's guilty right away.
The investigation has renewed pressure on David Piccini, who was spotted ringside with Keel's director the same year that company was audited. Later, as Minister of Labour, he's admitted to digging Keel's low-scoring skill development funding out from the bottom of the pile.
At the time, Speaker, we had no results of any audit, Speaker.
The opposition says it defies belief Piccini didn't know red flags had been raised.
And if that's the case, that one arm of government doesn't know what another is doing, well, they should fix that.
There's no answer about when that second forensic audit was started.
Not one minister has stood up and said, it happened on this date. You know why? Because they know that's what should have happened.
All of this
shows you the system is broken.
Asked if Piccini will still be Minister of Labour when MPPs come back from winter break, the Premier had this to say.
Yes.
Keel Digital Solutions has denied wrongdoing. They plan to cooperate with the OPP and say they look forward to a government apology when the investigation is finished. At Queen's Park, Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Good evening. We have some icy spots out there tonight after some light freezing drizzle and a swath of snow on the way overnight associated with an Alberta clipper moving in. Likely 10 to 20 centimeters falling in most of the region as we head into tomorrow morning. So leave yourself lots of extra time. Snow to start the day. Thank you, Darlene. This is Harry ready for the holidays. I love it. 0. That's where we'll stay throughout the day. The winds gusting out of the southwest initially into tomorrow morning, but shifting to the northwest by the end of the day. That will lead to lake effect snow and squalls. We'll take a look at all your local forecast details. Get ready for some winter weather. It's moving in.
It's time to build a toy mountain. Make this holiday season merry for so many kids.
Bring new unwrapped toys to CF Masonville Place.
All in support of the Salvation Army. We will be collecting donations November 21st to December 24th.
With all donations helping families right here in our community.
Toy Mountain, supported by Gomez Appliances, London Bass Center, and UBC Built Local 1946.
Let's make this the best toy mountain ever. Visit ctvlondon.ca for more ways to donate.
Welcome back on the desk now with Julie Acheson, and as I'm sure our viewers can see over your shoulder there's a lot of yellow right now on that map.
Yes, and tonight that means we have a snowfall warning in effect, so snowfall amounts expected to climb through the overnight. We're just seeing the edge of the system. Carlyle make the move. That snowfall warning includes Sarnia, Lambton, Middlesex, as you can see. Now, the reason there's no snowfall warning along the northern shoreline of Lake Erie is because we are expecting mixed precipitation. So that means snowfall amounts will be much less in those areas. But north of that, we could see the snow pile up overnight. The Alberta Clipper is on the move and the temperature has come up. We'll hold steady at 0 overnight. Our high for the day after a very cold start this morning. So satellite radar shows the snow that moved through early in the day. We did have some light freezing drizzle through the evening. Our next wave of moisture coming in, just getting organized, and that will be bringing the snow to us overnight and first thing tomorrow morning. Now, temperatures not dropping off too much overnight, anywhere from 0 to -1 in most areas. along the shoreline of Lake Erie, expecting to come up between 1 and 2 degrees. Forecasts like this are extremely tricky because, as you can see, here's the mixed precipitation line. So London right on the fringe of that. So in Middlesex County and southern areas, downtown and south of that, we will see some rain mixing in. That will put the brakes on just how much snowfall we see. Now, if that little wave of warmth does not edge in, snowfall amounts will be much higher. Where we will see close to 20 centimeters will be here on Perth and Grey and Bruce. This clipper has some good moisture with it, has that southerly flow, so winds out of the south continue south-southwest overnight into tomorrow morning. So as we head toward noon hour, you can see how the rain-snow mix filters its way through Haldimand, Norfolk, Niagara area, and in and around the Golden Horseshoe. Toronto right on the fringe of that warm air, so that could be extremely problematic for the commute tomorrow. As we head into the evening, you can see the snow starts to wind down, but then we get the wind shift out of the northwest. And what that does is it brings us some squalls off Lake Huron. We are expecting one to develop and push right through southern Huron County into Middlesex County. That one's expecting to slice through London. This one could bring us an additional 5 to 10 centimeters as we head into Thursday. So the forecast overnight, about 10 centimeters of snow expected in London. And then as we head through the day into Thursday, another 5 centimeters. So in total, we could see 15 to 20 by the time all is said and done. But initially, we pick up that 10 overnight, and then heading into tomorrow evening, the potential for some snow squalls. Your Wednesday forecast holding at the freezing mark early in the day, and then +2. Winds shifting to the northwest. That ushers in the cold air. As we head into Wednesday night, we're back down to -6, and that means lake effect flurries will be firing. Flurries in the forecast and snow squalls for Thursday at -4, -3 and cloudy on Friday with nighttime flurries, and then in and out of flurries for the weekend. Daytime high this weekend just -6. That is icy. -5 heading into Monday, and a mix of sun and cloud on Tuesday. A messy mix of weather along the northern shoreline of Lake Erie, so that includes Elgin County. You'll be right into that rain snow mix. North Huron, Perth, you'll be into snow. Grey Bruce, you have snow in the forecast, about 10 to 20 centimeters for you. It'll be the squalls on the back end of this system that's set up, which will bring heavier and higher amounts of snowfall to very different locales, but not everyone will see the squalls developing behind. But everyone's picking up the snow tonight. Flurries in the forecast 5 to 10 as we head into Thursday, and then Friday flurries and squalls. A cold weekend setting up Carlyle with daytime highs coming in at -6. So leave yourself extra time. Clean off your vehicles, and of course, go slow out there. We are expecting a messy mix of weather.
All right, Julie, thanks very much. Construction is complete on the latest phase of a downtown Woodstock beautification project. As Brian Bicknell reports, officials hope the timing attracts more people to the area for the holidays.
Rolling curbs and benches, new lighting, planters and crosswalks. It's all part of the new look for a more modern and accessible downtown Woodstock.
I was just thinking how lovely those flower containers are, or, you know, it's really pleasant to be here and walking along the street. I can definitely say that.
Woodstock has completed phase 2 of its downtown streetscape project, which began in spring. After months of construction, businesses are eager to welcome back customers.
It started before Mother's Day, and Mother's Day is a big day for us. And the wedding season, yeah, it can come through the back door, but yeah, it's no fun. But it is back on track, but it takes a long time to recuperate that large gap of revenue, if you can.
Just the aesthetics of it, for one thing. The parking is super accessible. The roads are clean. The stoplights are new. We're slowly filling up all the stores.
Carrie Baird with the Downtown Development Office says she hopes the improvements will bring people downtown who wouldn't otherwise come.
We have nice wide sidewalks to walk around. It gives you the ability, if you normally go to one spot, take a walk and go try something else and go to see a new store that you may not have known was down here.
Now, not everyone is delighting in the new streetscape project, with each phase costing about $3 million. At least one councillor says that money could have been better spent elsewhere.
Sanitary system goes back to 1906.
Mark Schattenberg reads from a long list of streets he believes should have been rebuilt first.
The city does not have the money to do any of this work. Phase 1 and Phase 2, in my opinion, should never have been done because it did not need to be done. And it's one of those things where you set your priorities.
The streetscape project is on hold for next year, but is expected to pick up again in 2027. Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
CTV News London has a newsletter helping you start your day with the latest local headlines. By signing up, you'll get local news content from CTV London direct to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewslondon.ca. Finally tonight, students at a London elementary school helping out thousands of other local children this month. They're partnering with the Salvation Army, collecting toys for families during the holidays. With more, here's Rita Ismail.
About holidays, Christmas. Anybody read these ones?
Aaron Daly's sixth graders have spent the last few weeks building their own toy mountain, stacking up donations to help kids who might otherwise go without on Christmas morning. A lesson the educator says goes far beyond the classroom.
We live in a community where we have lots to give back, so it's really important for them to understand that they have a lot to share, and for other kids to see that sharing is just as important at the holiday season.
The Salvation Army says the need this year is significant.
We have over 5,500 kids already signed up to get assistance from us this Christmas, and so these kids are just going to put a smile on somebody's face on Christmas morning.
To help teach students about giving, the Salvation Army created a toy box activity kit.
So we delivered the school toy box kits to the teachers and students, and it's really exciting because we filled that with items that we knew the teachers would need. We actually had a teacher consult that put together lesson plans for us based off the Ontario curriculum, so it could fit easily right into their lesson plans that they need to deliver to the students anyways.
For many students, the experience is personal.
It just makes me feel really happy to give toys and stuff to other kids that don't have much.
I think it's great for kids who don't have enough money to get any toys for Christmas.
The Salvation Army hopes the inaugural school toy drive program will expand to even more classrooms next year. The Toy Mountain campaign supports families across the region each holiday season. Last year, more than 100,000 children received toys thanks to donations from schools just like Cedar Hollow Public School. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
That's it for us. Thanks for watching. For all of us at CTV News London, I'm Carlyle Fiset. Have a good night.